Come on. Man, the loading is slow today. I should be muted. I'll know soon enough when it decides to update. Anyway. Oh, it did. And I'm still muted. Good, 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 good. Everything's going dandy. So, as mentioned earlier, I waited for it to dry. Went to get myself a little something to drink. And I pulled back the music a little bit so you guys could enjoy me talking over the 8-bit track. I erased the pencils off camera because it's always the boring part, and I didn't want to hook the stand. So, what's probably gonna happen is there's gonna be some beige and some red, pretty much. And of course, some black for the little hats. But this time, instead of going at it with a brush, I would rather go at it with a pen. So this is what I'm going to do. Oops. Sorry, wrong one. There we go. I'm probably going to do the big one with a marker. And as you just heard, that's the reason why I decided to restart the filming, because I pretty much only have like 25 minutes to finish this before I need to leave, start preparing supper. That's not just the casino music. I think you used it for something else before you reach the casino. It's been a while since I played. I'd say about a year and a half at this point. But I think you also use it when you come back to Booster Tower and try and play. I think it's a Knife Guys mini game in order to enter Great Guys Casino. Yeah, then I'm gonna get my brush, because I want to be careful with these, seeing as they tend to blend really well with the other markers. So I use them sparingly. That's why I would rather use my dipping brush for stuff like that, because it doesn't meld with the other colors. I think this is Booster Hill. Yeah, it is. Because I was wondering for a second there if it was Merrimore Hill or Booster Hill, but it's Booster Hill. Is this the kind of red I want to use? Yes, it is. It's very, very dark red. Now, usually my and from the sound of it, I'd say Dad decided to show up. I did not plan that. because he was supposed to stay in the woods. So I don't have any lobster for him, which is a shame. Because you see, my dad works in the woods during the summer, and he was supposed to stay there for the summer starting yesterday. And I just heard him walk around. So, I'm not too sure what I'm gonna do for supper for this guy. Roommates, what are you gonna do? Well, at least it better be my dad, or else, hope you guys got 911 on speed dial. Well, it's gonna make a change from the black background. That's what I'm thinking. Well, at worst, if I don't finish it on time, if you guys want, I can save it for later. That's probably what I'm gonna do, save it for later, finish it on a later live stream. Maybe later tonight if I'm not too tired. Yeah, there's my dad going down the stairs. And I'm starting to go over, so I'm gonna grab a paper. Yeah, that's what I thought. Hang on, guys. Well, that's gonna be a long part to cut out. Oh, just gonna pull this down a little bit because I'm getting a little hot. There we go. Usually I'm not a big fan of leaving in the middle of a coloring because it leaves streaks, but I kind of had no choice. Star Hill. I wonder if at one point there was supposed to be a boss on Star Hill. Unused content. I should look up a Legend of the Seven Stars wiki, see if they have some unused content. I know about the arch that was in the Japanese version of Mushroom Kingdom, but not in the American port. Because that's the weird thing about Star Hill. It had enemies, didn't have a boss. Very peculiar. Great, I did the little hats, I didn't do the big hat, and there's a stain, probably from drawing over it, but that's okay. Right now I don't really need to turn it over, I'm just turning it over so you guys can actually see what I'm doing. And from the sound of it, I'd say you are now in the pirate ship. Friggin' pirate ship. Yeah, I'll admit, there's a lot of places I'm not that big a fan of in Super Mario RPG, but that's just me being picky. Thing is, Mario RPG is one of the best ones, but at the same time, it feels kinda empty. Because it doesn't really feel Mario-like. Like for the mole people, they could have used Monty moles. The Paper Mario series, seeing as it was mostly Nintendo working on it, instead of half Nintendo, half Square, they tend to use more established species in these ones. So it's less confusing to look at. It's the best way I can really explain it. And as you can see, even if I have a prepared color chart, I like to test my colors on a scrap piece of paper. It's better than going, which one is it, which one is it? So I'm going to put a base color here, and if I hook the red outline, it's okay, seeing as I'm putting a type of red on top of it. Besides, this is mostly going from the saturated colors, seeing as the original picture is a lot darker. I brightened it so I could actually see the details. And of course, eventually I'm going to do Nightmare Bonnie, Nightmare Chica, Nightmare Foxy. Gonna do all the nightmares. But I meant earlier with the Mario RPG, Paper Mario, stuff like that. Like, for example, in Paper Mario, when you're in the ice region, you have penguins. Here in Super Mario RPG, you go to Rose Town, you have mushrooms. You go to Mushroom Kingdom, you have mushrooms. You go to, that's a seaside town, you got mushrooms. So that gets a bit repetitive. It feels more repetitive than in later Mario RPGs. And now even my music stopped. So that should mean that I'm having a hiccup in my internet. Just rebooted that real quick. And I'm gonna color a little bit more. Now you see there was a little red smudge, but like I said, it's okay. I'm putting more red shadows, lighting, stuff like that after I'm done with the base color. There we go. Oh, would you look at that? I forgot to color his nose. No big deal. Not at this scale. But I guess you can see here slightly. Let's see if I can zoom in. This is why I'm not a big fan of using my black Copic markers when I know I'm using colored markers after it. But where it did smudge, once again, no problem. Seeing as this picture is supposed to look weathered and dirty. Now I'm using my lightest cold gray for the metallic parts. And once again, if I smudge, it's really no big deal. It's just gonna add some color, so to speak. So I'm gonna get the red out, my good red out, and I'm going to get a pink out because it's light, and because I want to make sure I get the right pink, you know. I don't want one that overwhelms the drawing, that can go and replace the beige, but it's still gonna be influenced by the beige undercoat, because I'm gonna use some brighter reds and pinks later on for the shadows. While I think about it, I'm going to pull out this one. Oops, I'm sorry, guys. So I can blend a little bit. Hold me that. Floral white. Didn't I have a pinkier one? Nope, that's a toner color. Oh, okay, I'm using this. Get back up here, you. Don't be shy. We all love you. Oh, you have got to be kidding me. I don't know if you guys can hear, but my uncle just showed up. Don't get me wrong. I love that guy. You can probably hear him test the doorbell. It's because, as I was saying earlier, the sole reason I pushed up the... By the way, I think you guys are going to enjoy this. Is the secret boss. It's because we had a supper plan and now all the men are here. So this is going to get awkward real fast. The game is old, so I can't really say I'm spoiling. The secret boss is Culex. Culex, who is from the Final Fantasy universe, but at the same time never appeared in any other game. But he pretty much embodies every Final Fantasy final boss, with the purple skin, the wings, the elemental crystals. He's the embodiment of Final Fantasy, pretty much. But he was never in a Final Fantasy game. I imagine if they had replaced... If instead of putting Culex in the game, they had decided to put the Dark King from Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. Holy jeez. Just like my last playthrough, that game would last 3 turns. I believe that's the boss battle from Final Fantasy IV. That sounds very Final Fantasy IV-ish. Okay, putting this away. Sorry about that. Now, even considering where the light source is coming from, still gonna put some dark pink in the middle here. Victory music, which also happens when you beat Culex. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Culex, the name itself, is a type of mosquito. I'd have to look it up again. And I'm going to have to stop this soon, but there will probably be another live stream later tonight. I'll leave it as it is. I don't usually like to stop in the middle of a drawing, but I'm going to have to anyway because of supper. But I'll leave it as it is so you guys can see me finish it later tonight. Promise. The prelude. I love the prelude. I'll shut up now so you guys can enjoy it. That's a pretty good tune to finish the... There we go. That's a pretty good tune to finish this part of the live stream. So this is what I got done for now. I'm probably going to do some really bright highlights and or shadows with this one, which is called R46 Strong Red Anniversary Copic. But I'm going to leave it at this so you guys can watch me finish it later tonight. I will warn you when I do it. Don't worry about that. Keep an eye on my Facebook, my Twitter. I'll post the links as a note under the live stream video. And in the meantime, I'll recharge my phone again. Thank you